Chris Brett Tolman, CEO of the Travel Corporation.
Good afternoon. Thank you for talking to us. We're here at the World Travel and Tourism Conference 2012, Tokyo. Last night, a spectacular gala dinner as part of the Tourism for Tomorrow Awards. You were on stage presenting one of the awards, I believe. How was that for you?
Fantastic. We've been a sponsor for the last 7 years. Very passionately involved and supportive of sustainable travel and tourism. Something I think everyone needs to be involved in, whether you're the traveller themselves or all of us who are involved in the industry. You know, we have limited resources. When you hear some of the numbers that are bandied around here or elsewhere about potentially 2 billion additional travellers who are going to be out there in the next 10 to 20 years, we all need to be involved controlling our limited resources, protecting the places that people are going, and certainly, you know, the cultures that people are going to experience, so that those cultures are protected and preserved, whether it's the Aborigines in Australia or some of the places in Africa that we have and that we go to as well.
We were just in the conference on the conference floor a few moments ago talking about the aviation industry. Their main way of protecting the environment, sustainability, is perhaps through more efficient fuel for their planes. In the accommodation sector, would you just be able to talk us through a few of the concrete steps you're taking there to reduce your footprint?
Very commendable what the airlines industry is doing, and again, we all need to be doing something. So from the accommodation side, the recent hotel we built in South Africa on the ocean in Durban, we use a lot of grey water on recycling from our air conditioning. We use a lot of recycled materials, and everything is the lowest wattage lighting. And then we recycle everything in terms of post-waste and customers' laundry. We collect all the plastic. We recycle the metal hangers, so those go back to the laundry company so they can be reused. We have the different recycling bins within the rooms. We have active programs with our customers so that the cards, for example, on the beds, we engage our customers. We mention it to them at check-in to ask them not to change their sheets every day. And a lot of those savings we give back to local community projects. And we see a great big take-up when we do communicate that to our customers. Typically, you can see a 20 to 30% take-up when customers ask to not have their bed linen changed every day. But when you actually tell them that some of those savings are going towards a community project, and in each hotel city which we're in, we give those funds to a homeless shelter, an old age home, as we have in one of our hotels in Guernsey and so forth. And I think the customer engages and appreciates that, and we see the take-up go up to 70 or more percent.
Okay. It's all very commendable initiatives. Just taking a step back towards WTTC again, it's perhaps the strongest broad-based tourism organisation, perhaps globally. How important do you think it is in communicating our tourism industry's message to governments around the world?
Remarkably important. We've been a member since '97. I'm very passionate about being involved with WTTC. We're a disparate, competitive, and ununified industry. And when you see some of the numbers, which is one of the priorities of WTTC, to be able to educate governments, people, industries within and outside of our sector about the 9% of GDP, the 260 million jobs that are involved with travel and tourism, it highlights the importance of it. And that's obviously not to boast about it, but it is to try to highlight the importance of eliminating barriers, providing for visas so people can visit, come in and out of countries. And I think, the G20, the T20, if we can have governments better understand that, protect infrastructure, protect the places they're going to, I think it's vitally important. And the conversation going on right now is about the industry speaking with one voice, with Talib Rafai, head of UNWTO, on stage with David Scousel, head of WTTC. So, we have no active lobbying effort as banking and finance or the automobile industry have. And so this is one of our ways of trying to bring the industry together and speak with a voice to governments, and hopefully they will do more listening than they've done in the past.
Okay, just to close, Japan has been kind enough to invite WTTC here, which I believe was agreed in 2010. Obviously that was 12, 13 months ago now. What are your impressions on the ground of Japan? Do you think it's recovering following that disaster?
It's quite amazing. I've been in Tokyo 3 times in the last year, and obviously here you have no sense of it. And I mention that because I think it's so important as one of the Japanese said this morning on a panel is, you've got to be so careful with social media, YouTube, and so forth today that you see the devastation in Sendai, for example, we were 2 days ago, and you think that's all of Japan. So it's not at all the case, and Japan's been open for business all along. We were in Sendai, and it was so powerful and poignant to see the damage that was done, talking to some of the survivors, but then equally seeing the amount of work that's been done, homes that have been rebuilt, how lumber has been stacked and categorized differently for home rebuilding, to wood that's going to be chipped and used in floorboarding or sheetrock and so forth. And so my heart and my hand goes out to the Japanese people for how much has been accomplished in the past 13 months. Post-war was obviously a devastating tragedy for them, on obviously a triple effect of a major earthquake, followed by a tsunami, followed by a major nuclear reactor meltdown.
Well, thank you very much for speaking to Breaking Stories.